My son requested $100,000 from me for his new business idea. I refused him. 2 days later, his wife handed me coffee and said it's made especially for you. It smelled off. So, I swapped it with her mother's 1 hour later. You know, sometimes the deadliest enemies aren't lurking in the shadows. They're the ones sleeping under your own roof. What if I told you that my own son tried to murder me, poisoning my morning coffee, then framed me for it, all because I dared to disinherit him? My name is Colleen Princewell, and at 68, I thought I understood the true price of wealth. When you inherit an oil fortune worth $80 million, you quickly learn that money doesn't just talk. It screams, it lies, and sometimes it kills. But I never, ever imagined that the greatest threat to my life would come wearing my son's face and calling me Mom. The Princewell estate, a sprawling 500 acres of prime Texas land, was built on liquid gold pumped from deep beneath the earth. My grandfather fought and bled for that land. The mansion itself was a testament to 3 generations of prosperity, 14 rooms of hand-carved mahogany, crystal chandeliers, and Persian rugs that cost more than most people's houses. It was beautiful, imposing, and utterly lonely since my husband Charles died 5 years ago, leaving me to manage an empire I'd never truly wanted. That Tuesday morning in October started like any other. I was in my study, buried in quarterly reports, when I heard the familiar rumble of Blake's BMW coming up the circular drive. My 35-year-old son rarely visited without an agenda. And as I watched him through the bay windows, I could see the tension in his shoulders, even from a distance. Blake had always been handsome, in that privileged prep school way that opened doors and closed minds. But lately, something had changed. The easy confidence of his youth had been replaced by a desperate hunger that made me deeply uncomfortable. It was the look of a man who'd tasted failure and found it unbearably bitter. Mom, he burst into my study without knocking, his expensive suit wrinkled, his usually perfect hair disheveled. We need to talk. I slowly set down my reading glasses and studied his face. Dark circles shadowed his eyes, and there was a tremor in his hands he was trying desperately to hide. Of course, sweetheart. Sit down. You look terrible. Thanks for the pep talk, Blake muttered, collapsing into the leather chair across from my mahogany desk. Look, I'm going to cut straight to the chase. I need money. A lot of money. Here we go again, I thought. Blake's business ventures had a long history of requiring my financial intervention. His last startup, some sort of app for rating restaurants, had cost me $300,000 before folding spectacularly. Before that, it was a clothing line that never made it past the design phase. Each failure was followed by elaborate explanations about market timing and investor politics, but the result was always the same. My bank account got lighter, and Blake's promises grew emptier. How much? I asked, though I suspected I didn't want to know. $100,000. The number hung in the full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.